Hello scholars, welcome back. In today's class, we are going to start with chapter 8 from our New Images textbook. So I want you all to open page number 76, chapter 8. Let's read the chapter name. Now make sure you put your index finger below the words that we are reading. Let's read the chapter name. The Cyclone, cyclone, the cyclone, okay? Well, there is a line written below it. Let's read that. When, strange, strange things happen in Kansas, okay? So here, what is a cyclone? Cyclone means what? Cyclone is a storm, okay? A storm which happens due to powerful winds, okay? When the wind is blowing powerfully, cyclones happens due to which you might have watched in the TV or some houses, trees, they fall off, the roofs goes away due to such powerful winds, okay? So this is a story where a cyclone comes, okay? And Kansas is a name of a place. Okay. Now let's continue reading the story. Page number 77. Dorothy lived in the midst of the great Kansas prairies with Uncle Henry, who was a farmer, and Aunt Ame, who was the farmer's wife. Their house was small, for the lumber to build it had to be carried by wagon many miles. So let's understand what we read till here. Dorothy lived in the midst of the great Kansas prairies. That means prairies here means large grasslands, okay? It is outskirts of a city. In the midst, okay? In the middle of these large grasslands. Now, with whom did she live? With Uncle Henry, who was a farmer, and Aunt Ame was his wife. Alright? Their house was very small. Their house was small, for the lumber to build it had to be carried by wagon many miles. That means here lumber means logs that are used to build the house. Okay? They can't carry the logs on their small wagon for a long distance. So that's the reason they build their house with small, so that little material is required. Okay? Now let's continue. There were 4 walls, a floor and a roof, which made one room, and this room contained a rusty looking cook stove, a cupboard for the dishes, a table, 3 or 4 chairs, and the beds. Uncle Henry and Aunt Ame had a big bed in one corner, and Dorothy a little bed in another corner. So how was their house? How did it look? It had 4 walls, a floor and a roof, okay, which made one room. So this 4 walls made one room with a floor and a roof, and this room contained a rusty looking cook stove, okay, rusty, okay, and an old style looking cook stove, a cupboard to put the dishes, okay, the utensils, okay, a table, 3 or 4 chairs, and beds. Now Uncle Henry and Aunt Ame had a big bed in one corner, and Dorothy a little bed in another corner. Alright, now let's continue. There was no garret at all, and no cellar except a small hole dug in the ground called a cyclone cellar, where the family could go in case one of those great whirlwinds arose, mighty enough to crush any building in its path. Now, let's understand. There was no garret. Garret means at all. That means there was no attic, okay, to store things. We have an attic in our houses, isn't it? That wasn't there, except a small hole, and no cellar also. No cellar too. That means in the basement we have usually in abroad countries there is a cellar. In the underground they have in the basement they have a room where they store things, just like we have storerooms. Okay, so there was no cellar. Now what did they have? They had a small hole dug in the ground called a cyclone cellar. Now why did they have the cyclone cellar? So that they can go there in case the whirlwinds arose. That means during cyclone, the powerful winds come in the world. They move around in circles, isn't it? And what happens, sometimes these powerful winds are so strong that whatever comes in their way, it just crushes them. Okay, it just takes away and throw them in the air anywhere. All right, just like you see in the picture here. Let's continue. It was reached by a trapdoor in the middle of the floor, from which a ladder led down into the small dark hole. Okay, so how they can reach there? To reach to this place, to this cyclone cellar, they had a trap door. Where is it there? In the middle of the floor, from which a ladder led down into the small dark hole. They had ladder through which they can just go downstairs. You can see the picture. In the picture it is shown in page number 78. Okay, so it was a dark small hole. Now let's continue. When Dorothy stood in the doorway and looked around, she could see nothing but the great grey prairie on every side. Not a tree nor a house broke the broad sweep of flat country that reached to the edge of the sky in all directions. So when Dorothy stood in the doorway, when she stood near the door, what she could see around herself? She could see nothing, but it was just the grey, dried grasslands. Okay, there was not a tree nor a house. All right, it was all dry around her. Let's continue reading. The sun had baked the plowed land into a grey mass with little cracks running through it. So the sun had baked, due to sun's heat, the plowed land the sun had baked the plowed land. Okay, the farmer was plowing the land, and because of the sun's heat it was turned grey. Okay, with little cracks as well. The land had cracks on it. Okay, now turn to page number 78. Even the grass was not green, for the sun had burned the tops of the long blades until they were the same grey color to be seen everywhere. Once the house had been painted, but the sun, BLISTE, R-E-D, blistered, the paint and the rains washed it away. And now the house was as dull and grey as everything else. So, because of the sun's heat, even the grass was not green. Okay, even they looked same like how she felt around her. It was everything was grey and dull. Okay, and once their house was painted too. But because of the sun's heat, there were blisters. The paint on the walls had cracks. It got blisters. Now once it starts breaking down, when it rained, the rain washed away the whole paint. So now how the house looked? Dull and grey too. Okay? Let's continue. When Aunt Aim came there to live, she was a young, pretty wife. The sun and wind had changed her too. They had taken the sparkle sparkle from her eyes and left them a sober grey. They had taken the red from her cheeks and lips, and they were grey also. She was thin and gaunt and never smiled now. Now let's understand what we read till here. When Aunt Aim came there to live in this place, how did she look? She was very young and pretty. But the sun and the wind had changed her too. What happened to her? They had taken the sparkle from her eyes. Her eyes had sparkle in them, which was taken away, and left them a sober. Sober means serious, and made them very serious. Okay? And she had nice red cheeks and lips, which were again made dull too. And she became thin and gaunt. Gaunt means somebody becoming very lean, becoming very thin, like just having bones. Okay? And that too because of being tired or not happy. Alright? So gaunt is becoming thin, being lean. Okay? And never smiled now. She never smiled too after coming here. Next, when Dorothy who was an orphan, first came to her, Aunt Aim had been so startled by the child's laughter that she would scream and press her hand upon her heart whenever Dorothy's merry voice reached her ears, and she still looked at the little girl with wonder that she could find anything to laugh. Uncle Henry never laughed. So what did she say? When Dorothy, who was an orphan means a child who has no parents, okay, their parents are not there, then they're called an orphan. Okay, so when Dorothy came in their life, Aunt Ames was so startled. She was shocked by the child's laughter, because that she would scream, she would shout, she would get scared, because till then nothing like that happened till Dorothy came there. She pressed her hand upon her heart. She put her hand upon her heart, okay, as if getting scared. Why? Listening to Dorothy's merry voice, happy voice. And she still looked at the little girl with wonder. Okay, she looked at Dorothy in a surprise that she could find. What she could find? What is there here to laugh? Okay, because Uncle Henry too never laughed. Okay, he was serious too. Now let's continue. He worked hard from morning till night and did not know what joy was. He was grey also, from his long beard to his rough boots, and he looked stern and SOLEMN, solemn, and rarely spoke. So Uncle Henry too never laughed. He worked day and night. He was used to just work and did not know what joy was. He didn't know how to be happy. He didn't know what happiness was. And he was grey also. That means he was dull too, from his long beard to his rough boots. Okay? And stern and solemn means somebody who by appearance look very harsh, scary, isn't it? Like they're very strict. So that is called looking stern and solemn. Okay, and rarely he spoke. Rarely means he hardly spoke. Okay, he spoke very little. Let's continue. It was Toto that made Dorothy laugh and saved her from growing as grey as her other surroundings. Toto was not grey. He was a little black dog with long silky hair and small black eyes that twinkled merrily on either side of his funny wee nose. Toto played all day long and Dorothy played with him and loved him dearly. So who made Dorothy laugh? It was Toto, and Toto was a little black dog. He was not dull. He made Dorothy laugh. How did Toto look? He had long silky hair, small black eyes that twinkled, okay, happily. And he had a wee nose, WEEV. Wee means little, small, okay. So Dorothy played. They both played together all day long and they both loved each other. Okay? Let's continue. Today, however, they were not playing. Uncle Henry sat upon the doorstep and looked anxiously at the sky, which was even grayer than usual. Dorothy stood in the door with Toto in her arms and looked at the sky too. Aunt Ame was washing the dishes. So that day what happened? They were not playing. Uncle Henry was sitting at the doorstep, okay, and was looking anxiously. Anxiously means curiously that something is going to happen, something like that. All right? Which was looking very dull. The sky was looking very dull too. So Dorothy stood in the door with Toto in her arms and was looking at the sky too. And what was Aunt Ame was doing? She was washing the dishes. Let's continue. From the far north, they heard a low wail of the wind, and Uncle Henry and Dorothy could see where the long grass bowed in waves before the coming storm. There now came a sharp whistling in the air from the south. As they turned their eyes that way, they saw ripples in the grass coming from that direction also. So what happened from the far north? They heard a low wail of the wind, that as if the wind was crying. And Uncle Henry and Dorothy could see how the long grass was bowing, moving in waves here and there and bending before. And this usually happens before a storm comes, okay. Now there was a sharp whistling sound coming in the air from south direction. And the moment they turned their eyes, they saw some ripples. Ripples is like circles forming, all right. The air is forming in the form of circles. You can see the dust, okay. ripples in the grass. Oh, now coming from that direction also, from the south as well. Next, suddenly Uncle Henry stood up. He stood up. There's a cyclone coming. Aim, he called to his wife. I will go look after the stock. Then he ran towards the sheds where the cows and horses were kept. So, he told Aunt Aim that a cyclone is coming. I will go look after the stock. Here the stock means the cows and horses which were kept in the sheds. He was talking about them, that he will go and look after them. And he ran. Aunt Aim dropped her work and came to the door. One glance told her of the danger close at hand. Quick, Dorothy, she screamed. Run for the cellar. So Aunt Aim dropped her work. She stopped washing the dishes and came near the door. And one glance means having a look at something, okay? She understood about the danger which was about to come. So she said, Dorothy, run for the cellar. In the cellar, what was the cellar that they had? It was a cyclone cellar where they could go during such dangers. Let's continue. Toto jumped out of Dorothy's arms and hid under the bed. And the girl started to get him. Aunt Aim badly, FRIGHTENED, frightened, threw open the trap door in the floor and climbed down the ladder into the small dark hole. So what happened? Toto jumped out of Dorothy's arms and he went and sat under the bed. And the girl started to get him. Dorothy ran behind him and wanted to get him. Aunt Aim was badly scared, afraid. And she opened the trap door and climbed down the ladder into the dark hole. Now let's continue. Dorothy caught Toto at last and started to follow her aunt. When she was halfway across the room, there came a great shriek from the wind, and the house shook so hard that she lost her footing and sat down suddenly upon the floor. So what happened? Dorothy finally took Toto and was getting down into the cellar. When she was halfway, what happened? There was a shriek, a loud shout, especially in fear, The house shook, the house started shaking, that she lost her footing. That means when she was putting her foot down on the steps, suddenly she lost it. And what happened? She slipped and fell down on the floor. Now, page number 80. Then a strange thing happened. The house whirled. Whirled is to go fast in something moving in circles fastly, So the house whirled around 2 or 3 times and rose. Here rose is to rise up. Slowly through the air. Dorothy felt as if she were going up in a balloon. So when they were rising up in the air, she felt as if she was in a balloon and moving up. Let's continue. The north and south winds met where the house stood and made it the exact center of the cyclone. In the middle of a cyclone, the air is generally still, but the great pressure of the wind on every side of the house raised it up higher and higher until it was at the very top of the cyclone, and there it remained and was carried miles and miles away as easily as you could carry a feather. So the north and south winds met where the house stood. Okay, it made it from both the directions. The wind came in so powerfully that the house became the center. Okay, now in the middle of a cyclone, when the cyclone is happening, in the middle the air is still. Still means it's same, not moving, not changing. Okay, it doesn't in still position, not moving. But the great pressure of the wind on every side, the pressure that was applied by the winds on the corners, raised it up higher and higher. Okay, it was moving from miles and miles away, as if a bird's feather flies away, isn't it? Their house was flying here and there because of the cyclone. Okay, now it was very dark and the wind howled horribly around her. But Dorothy found she was riding quite easily. After the first few whirls around, and one other time, when the house tipped badly, she felt as if she were being rocked gently, like a baby in a cradle. So, how was Dorothy feeling? First of all, it was very dark. And the wind was howling, okay, just like the dogs shout horribly. She was feeling the same way about wind. But Dorothy, she was taking it easily. After the first few whirls, after the first few circles, how did she feel? As if she was being rocked gently in a cradle. Alright? Toto did not like it. He ran about the room, now here, now there, barking loudly. But Dorothy sat quite still on the floor and waited to see what would happen. So Toto did not like it. He was running here and there, and Dorothy was just sitting on the floor and was waiting to see what happens. Once Toto got too near the open trapdoor and fell in. And at first, the little girl thought she had lost him. But soon she saw one of his ears sticking up through the hole, for the strong pressure of the air was keeping him up so that he could not fall. She crept to the hole, caught Toto by the ear, and dragged him into the room again. Afterward, closing the trapdoor so that no more accidents could happen. So what happened? Once it happened that the Toto got near the open trapdoor. Now, had he fallen into it, he would have just fallen to the ground. But the air, the pressure of the cyclone was so much that he didn't go inside it. And when Dorothy saw one of his ears, what did she do? She dragged him. Dragging is to pull something by force. After closing the trapdoor by the ear and dragged him into the room again, and afterwards she closed the trapdoor so that no such accidents would happen. Alright? Hour after hour passed away, and slowly Dorothy got over her fright, but she felt quite lonely, and the wind shrieked so loudly all about her that she nearly became deaf. At first, she had wondered if she would be dashed to pieces when the house fell again. So, like this, hours and hours passed, and then slowly Dorothy got over her fear, and she felt quite lonely, and the wind shrieked so loudly that she became deaf almost. She wondered what would happen if the house falls. She would break into pieces or something. She was scared with weird thoughts. But as the hours passed and nothing terrible happened, she stopped worrying and resolved to wait calmly and see what the future would bring. So as the hours passed, what did she do? Nothing happened. As nothing happened, she stopped worrying and thinking about all that and resolved to wait calmly. Resolve is to come to a decision, okay? Decide on to something. And she decided that she would wait calmly and see what would happen further. At last she crawled over the swaying floor. Okay, swaying is to swing. Yes, to her bed and lay down upon it. Somehow she managed to move on the floor and get near her bed and lay down on it. And Toto followed and lay down beside her. Next, in spite of the saying of the house and the wailing of the wind, Dorothy soon closed her eyes and felt fast asleep. So in spite of so much of chaos happening, still what did Dorothy do? She closed her eyes and fell fast asleep. Isn't that scary? Yes, it does happen in the villages or outskirts of cities, or in villages the cyclones usually come, and this is how dangerous it is. Okay, now let's do the exercise A1. Choose the correct answers. First one, when the cyclone arrived, Uncle Henry hid in the cellar or went to check the cows and horses. What happened? Option B, he went to check the cows and horses. Number 2, Dash hid under the bed. Who went and hid under the bed? Who was scared? It was Toto. Yes, the little dog went and hid under the bed. Tick on B. Number 3, Toto got too near the trapdoor and Dash. What happened? When he got near the trapdoor, he fell in. Okay, write down. Sorry, put a tick on fell in. Number 4, Dorothy soon closed her eyes and started dreaming or fell asleep. No, she wasn't dreaming. She fell asleep. Okay. Now children, I want you to do the reading of the story again. Learn the meanings of the words given in the boxes. And you have the PDF related to this chapter in the link in the description box. Make sure you complete the work in your English copy and do the worksheet as well. I'll see you in the next class. Till then, eat healthy food. Take care of yourself. Be safe at home.